save me some.
Hello, my friends. How you doing today? I am doing well. Well, I got a little bit of a throat thing going on, but besides that, I'm doing well. I'm still alive. Okay, so I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, my throat's been a little bit phlegmish. Is that the word I'm looking for? Phlegmish. Okay, I'm having a little bit of a post nasal dripping phlegmish thing going on there. It's been sucking for like a couple days, but. I will tell you, I was awoken to a pleasant surprise because obviously they don't give the Amazon delivery people Amazon don't get a day off. Okay, Amazon never get a day off because I'm recording this on a Sunday morning. And I just received a package on my porch on a Sunday morning, and I was like, I didn't remember what I ordered because when it comes to Amazon, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, I pre-order things like years in advance, like I'm talking long time. Like it says, maybe determined or whatever. It doesn't even tell you when there's a time that they're going to be released. But we'll catch up with you later on and tell you when the time's going to be released. But we know this is going to be released at this certain time. And we're going to catch up with you later on. We're going to tell you when the time is. That I don't even care. I just like pre-order because they don't take the money. If you purchase from Amazon, you know this. They don't take the money out of your account until the item is shipped. So I can order as much as I want. Make sure I'm confirmed to get those Blu-rays and CDs and toys or whatever it is. I'm guaranteed to get them sometime down the road. It's kind of like what was that? Jingle All the Way. You know, you thought you were gonna get a Turbo Man. Now you're gonna get a Turbo Man eventually. You know what I mean? That's the way I feel about Amazon.
No. What I actually said was whoever won would get a doll eventually.
You just pre-order your stuff. You're guaranteed to get it eventually. Okay. So anyway, the wife goes outside, go start up the car. She comes in with the box or whatever. And she's going food shopping Sunday morning. Why not go food shopping? I'm not going. I don't do that because I go there and I got a list in my head of things I want. And then once I get to the store, I'm at the market and whatever, and I didn't get hungry because I haven't eaten yet. So I go to the market hungry. Listen, worst thing you ever do is go to the market hungry. Go to the market hungry and believe in there with ridiculous things that you didn't even know why you bought. You're like, why do I need to? Why do we have peach rings? Okay, we can't live on peach rings. Listen, I'm on a tight budget over here. Me and my wife make a list of what we need. We need bread, we need some kind of a sandwich meat. We need this, and it's a specific list. Okay, we need to buy what's on that specific list. Now, when I send the wife by herself, she gets what exactly on the list. So she's like, oh, we need one of these, and two of these, and one of them, and everything's good. You take me into one of these places, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I start looking at stuff that I like haven't had like a long. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. They got Oreos with some kind of red stuff inside. Those look like I need those, and then it's one of those things. And before you know it, what was supposed to cost me $60, I'm not walking out of there. I spent like $150, and I got a pile of garbage that's probably gonna kill me. That's me going to the market. So it's better for her to go by herself. So she comes in with the package. Sunday morning, and I opened it right away. I was like, I don't know what it is, and sometimes I get tricked by Amazon. Okay, so because not even Amazon, eBay sellers, because sometimes eBay sellers. They ship your stuff in Amazon boxes and they use the Amazon wrap and everything like that. And then you open it up and it's like, wow, this isn't Amazon. This is something, this has been happening to me a lot with record holder cases or whatever. I order from this company or whatever off of eBay, and then all of a sudden I get this thing in the mail and it's in an Amazon box. And I'm like, oh, what did I get from Amazon? It's a big box. What is it here? And I open it up and it's a holder for records. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's not exciting. It's okay. I wanted it. I needed it. But when I think of Amazon, I think of something Blu-ray or DVD or 4K or something exciting like that, or a toy or something like that. Anyway, so I'm gonna explain this, and then I'm gonna unbox it. And I pre-ordered this thing the first day. I pre-ordered, and there's a reason why I pre-ordered it. And it's the movie called JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling. Okay, what do they call this thing? A Richard Pryor film. Okay, I think the old ones never said a Richard Pryor film. It just said JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling. And I remember back as a child, this movie coming out, and it was like, this is one of those taboo movies that the dad did not want me to see. Okay, you can't watch JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling. It's a bad movie, terrible movie. You can't watch it, the language, and this, that, and the other thing. Meanwhile, listen, I've been a Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Andrew Dice Clay, Sam Kinison fan. Okay, I'll just throw those guys. Rodney Dangerfield. I was a fan for a long time, and I used to get my cassette tapes. Okay, I either get them off my uncle, especially with the Eddie Murphy stuff and the Richard Pryor stuff and Dice and stuff like that. I couldn't get them as a child. Okay, I was young when some of that stuff came out, and I couldn't get it. So with the dice was kind of funny because the dice, I believe I brought my grandmother in to purchase it for me, and they tried to tell her like, hey, you're not supposed to buy this for him because the language on it, and this is very parental guidance. That's what the parental guidance sticker's for. And she was like, she's like, oh, she looked at me and she's like, oh, I didn't know that. Do you still want it? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, we'll take one. And the guy looked at her and looked at me like, I'm like, yeah, because that's the way my grandmother was. It was like, yeah, you still want it? Yeah, I want it. I knew that it was parental advisory. That's why I brought you here with me, because I knew that my mother and father weren't going to get it for me, but you will. That's cool. So anyway, so I used to take my cassette tapes and hide them all underneath my bed frame because for some reason 60 Minutes used to keep doing these damn things that my father used to keep watching about comedians being too nasty or whatever, and you can't it was weird when I'm hiding my cassette tapes underneath the bed, Two Live Crew and NWA and Easy and all those guys like that, because my father's watching 2020 episodes, whatever, and it's all 60 Minutes. He's like, oh my goodness, does he have Andrew Dice Clay in that room? Does he have Two Live Crew in that room? Does he have, and he comes in, you got it? I'm like, Two Live what? What, Andrew Dice who? I don't know who you talking about, Dad. And I put the headphones on. I'm like, yeah, F and the F and F F F and the F and the F F F F F F U and F F A. Funny stuff. Anyway, so when this movie first came out, I did not have the opportunity to watch it as a child. Okay, but do we have a year on this thing here? Oh yeah, they always put the years on this thing. 97 minutes. We're 1988, right? Yeah, that's an 88 or an 86. Wow, going blind. Not enough light in here. Did I put the light up a light on? 86. 1986. Not 88, 86. All right, this was a long time ago. I was young. Okay, I was younger. Okay, and I wanted to see this movie so bad because I was, and still am, a big Richard Pryor fan. Listen, Richard Pryor has been part of my life forever. There were some movies as a child that I would just watch over and over. They were like my favorite movies, and Richard Pryor was just part of it. Okay, The Toy. Okay, oh man, I love The Toy. Okay, that was one of my childhood favorite movies. Okay, Superman 3. Still one of my favorite Superman movies. You guys can say whatever you want to say about Superman 3. You know, that's not a Superman movie. That's a comedy or whatever. They shouldn't have put Richard Pryor in it. Listen, Richard Pryor was good in it. Okay, Superman 3 was good. The whole idea of him finding the pennies from the money that they were paying out the people and taking it all, putting in his check and everything, and then all of a sudden the bad guys enlist him to build this machine that's gonna kill Superman. That was a great idea. I know Richard Pryor stole the show, but he's Richard Pryor. He's gonna steal the show. And Bustin' Loose, another big favorite of mine. Moving, another big favorite of mine. Anything with Gene Wilder, okay, that he did. Stir Crazy, Silver Streak, classics. Okay, Speak No Evil, Hear No Evil, Hear No Evil, Speak No Evil. You know what I'm talking about. No, hear no evil, see no evil. That's it was. Yeah, because one was deaf, the other one could see. All right. And then I finally got to see this. Okay, so I finally got a little older. I got my hands on a copy, VHS, started, and I watched it. And it's kind of a it's I'm guessing it's loosely based on his true life events of what happened with him with the crack pipe blowing up in his face or whatever, and him catching on fire, and so what it is this is actually a drama. Okay, it's a drama. Okay, it's a story. It's the supposed. I'm guessing Hollywood, because I'm sure Richard Pryor's life was probably a little bit tougher than what's depicted in this video. I'm sure there's a lot of things that he probably didn't want to. But listen, I'll tell you what, if I was to write an autobiography or whatever, there'd be certain things that I'd probably want to leave out of my life. And there might be some stuff that he probably added in here to make it a little bit interesting. I have no idea. Only the man would know, and the man's no longer with us. But as far as a movie goes, it was really good. Now, the story goes is that Richard Pryor was like, he was brought up in like a brothel. His mom was part of it, and his father was like or his uncles and everything. They were like the guys, you know, that would throw people out if they got nasty with the girls and everything like that. And this is how he was raised. He was raised like this, okay? And eventually he started working like almost like a burlesque type situation where he would be dressed in drag, and he was doing stand up in this like real dive bar and everything. And then the people that worked there befriended him, and they helped him move on to his career, and then he got famous and got into the drugs, and next thing you know, he's on fire running down the street. And it's pretty much, the beginning opens up with him laying in a hospital totally wrapped in bandages. You know, it's his whole burn thing, what happened. And he himself is having an out-of-body experience where it's actually Richard Pryor talking to Richard Pryor. So he's talking to his burnt up self and saying, look what you did to yourself. Look, you had everything. And this is where you ended up. This is what you had it all. Okay, this is where you started, and that's where the story begins. He shows you where you started, and it's kind of like an It's a Wonderful Life of what would happen if you were Richard Pryor, if you weren't Richard Pryor, if there was no Richard Pryor in the world or whatever. That's what I felt anyway. I felt like it was like, look what you did to yourself, buddy. Look at you had it all, okay, and you just almost died because of drugs or whatever. And yeah, it doesn't have nudity in it. Nudity in it. Yes, there's nudity in it. Okay, it's not a children's movie. Okay, as far as the language goes, it's Richard Pryor. I mean, I've kind of grown numb to like vulgar. Wow. Let me try to say that one. Vulgarity, swears. Okay, bad language. Listen. Everybody's swearing. Everybody's swearing now. I got kids in my class swearing. They're swearing. Parents swearing. You got teachers swearing. Listen, everybody's swearing. Put on the TV. Just put on your regular TV. Remember when if you're like dating yourself, whatever. When I was a kid, okay, you never heard like the S word or the F word or any kind of word like that. Or they didn't say nothing on any of those Happy Days or One Day at a Time or Facts of Life. Where I never heard that stuff about silver spoons. Okay, when I was watching Different Strokes, I never heard Arnold say, "What you talk about, mother?" I never heard that. Okay. Nowadays, you turn on like regular TV and like you're watching like Hawaii Five-O or CSI or whatever the heck you watch. I'll throw out some of those things that are probably not even airing anymore because that's the last time I saw stuff. But my wife watches these like hospital shows like Grey's Anatomies or whatever, and it's like they're literally they're swearing. Okay, so to me, this is like a children's movie by this point. In the standards of today's day and age, this is like a children's movie. But I will tell you, it is also a really, really good movie. It's actually, if you have not seen JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling, it's worth a view. If you're a fan of Richard Pryor, you want to see a little history of Richard Pryor, you want to see some of the stuff that he went through. Like I said, it does pull a little bit at your heartstrings, especially if you're a fan of the man. If you're a fan of the man, you feel it. And I was such a fan. It's like I watch a lot of YouTube videos and stuff, so I watch a lot of interviews after he had his burn accident. And he was a changed man after that. It was like all about living. He wanted to live, and then unfortunately he got sick and then he passed away. So this story is like it's a reality check. It's a reality check for you as a person to look back at your life or look at what you're doing right now or look at it like, hey, listen, time is real short. Okay, and you need to make the best of your time here on Earth while you can, because time is short and you don't know when your number is going to be pulled. So that's what this is about. So when I watch stuff like this, it does kind of bring me down a little bit because I kind of reflect on myself, and in a way, I kind of feel like maybe it's a little selfish of me. Why do I got to make it all about me? Why do I got to make everything all about me? But you got to understand that when I watch a movie, I put myself in the shoes of the character. Okay, movies are memories, but they're also a release. They're an escape for me. Okay, for an hour and a half, 2 hours. In the case of Oppenheimer or Titanic or whatever, or one of them crazy ones, they're 3 hours. Okay, or Scarface, 3 hours. Deer Hunter, 3 hours. Can I keep going? Godfather, 3 hours. In the case of that, I might get like 3 hours of not being me. Okay, because sometimes me ain't fun. It ain't fun to be me sometimes, okay? Sure, I'm sure you guys have days when it ain't fun to be you. I'm sure the days when you got to pay those bills, it ain't fun to be you. I'm sure those days when you put your hand in your pocket and all you feel is your hand or your leg or whatever. I'm sure you have one of them days too. Listen, not every day is going to be good. But we got to try to make the best of what we can. And when you watch a movie like this, it kind of makes you realize that you could be big and famous and have it all. You can still make mistakes and throw it all away, and then you end up dying with regrets and pain and suffering and all kinds of stuff like that. Now we got to live a little bit. Let's have a little bit of fun. Now, I'm gonna do something different with this episode. I'm gonna take this thing over to the table and I'm gonna unbox it. I'm gonna unbox it for you. I'm gonna show you what's inside the JoJo Dancer. This is the Criterion. Wait a minute. That's usually only sold at the Barnes & Noble, and I can't afford them usually. But because I've been building up credit on my Amazon credit card, And JoJo Dancer was coming out. I believe this was like a $30-something Blu-ray, and I don't normally spend that. This is a Blu-ray. I could have got the 4K. I believe there was a 4K option, but I'm not doing 4K no more. I'm not spending that money because I got one 4K player that thing keeps freezing up on me. I'm not buying another one because they're very hard to come by nowadays. So I'm sticking with the blues, and I recommend you guys Blu-ray it all the way too. Let's just keep Blu-raying it. Let's buy the Blu-rays are good. Okay, you all gone. You totally listen. If you look back on your life, you'll realize that we've all gotten a little bit spoiled. Okay, we all got a little bit spoiled. DVDs are fine. Okay, VHSs were okay, and DVDs were good, and Blu-rays are good. We put them in. We don't have no problems with them. But then 4Ks, we have problems. Okay, I think that we reached a greedy point, and a lot of people are like very disappointed because they spend a lot of money on 4Ks, and then they put them in their cheaper line player because maybe we can't afford the $500, $600, $800 Sony Plus whatever Bose system. Surround sound, whatever. We bought the cheap LG or the cheap whatever Sony that they had at the local Walmart because that's what we could afford. And now they're freezing up, and Sony says, "Go buy yourself a new one. The one you got's too old. You need a new one now." Sony, no, I can't do that. I can't afford it. Okay, I just can't afford it. So we're gonna bring this to the table. We're gonna open it up, and I'm gonna show you what is inside. All right, guys, we're at the table here, and let's see what we got here. So on the front, we got our normal Blu-ray edition. What's that say? Blu-ray. There we go. Blu-ray edition, high definition video and audio. JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling, a Richard Pryor film. What do we got going on the back here? We got a whole bunch of stuff here. JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling. What's this? Criterion Collection. The Criterion Collection, a continuing series of important classics and contemporary films film presents. Okay, so I can't read. Talking 1986, 97 minutes. Color 2.0 surround sound, 2.39 point whatever aspect. Yeah, listen. So you guys know your little information there. And then here's the special features down here. We got the Blu-ray, a new 4K digital scan. Restoration, with 2.0 surround DTS HD master audio soundtrack. New interview on the film with filmmaker Robert Townsend. Oh, I didn't know Robert Townsend was involved in this. Interview with director Richard Pryor from a 1985 episode of Dick Cavett. Yes, okay, and Dick Cavett show, English subtitles, and plus an appreciation by critic Hilton Als. Okay. So we got some stuff. I got some bonus stuff there. We're gonna see a Richard Pryor interview. I'm kind of happy about that. So first thing I gotta do is I gotta take this apart with my little magic trick here. This is how a real man takes his Blu-rays out of the packages here. Okay, now this stick is important because I keep it and I stick it back onto my my set. So yeah, that's just a thing. That's so when I grab it, I'm like, pow! Look, Blu-ray. It's Criterion. I know it's Criterion. Even though it's got the C in the corner, I know it's a Criterion because of that big blue sticker that they love to stick on the thing there. All right, so we got the cover art. Let's crack this open and see what the kind of gifts they're going to give us, because we know that Criterion always gives us some kind of gifts. We got the disc. Let's take the disc out of there. Plus, I got to straighten out that disc. If you guys are collectors, you know what the situation is there. So we got, so this right here is actually a photograph of little. I'm going to put the disc carefully over here, okay, for a second. We get this out of here because I'm having a feeling that this might be a, okay, so this is a young Richard Pryor, old Richard Pryor talking to a young Richard Pryor, kind of telling him, like, this is how you messed up your life. This is what you need to do. That this was a kind of a big part of the movie. And like I said, it's one of these things that's like really like, it makes you think, because you're like, you know, stuff like this happens. It happens to regular people. It doesn't have to happen to just a star. It happens to regular people. You know, you lose people, you lose yourself, you mess up your life. Things happen, okay? I'm not saying Richard Pryor totally messed up his life. It kind of actually probably turned it around for him. But there's a tough lesson to learn. That's all I got to say. So we got a booklet here. So it's more like a poster. Okay, what do we got here? We got the cast. Debbie Allen, Richard Pryor. Let me see if there's any other people I know in there that's gonna pop out at me. That I probably know a ton of these actors, but by name, I'm not catching on to any of them. All right, open up more. We got a bunch of stuff. So Songs of Innocence and Experience by Hilton Als. So this must be the Hilton Als. Hilton Als, whoever that is, done wrote a whole bunch of stuff that I'll probably never read. Sorry, Hilton. I watch movies, I don't read. Okay, that's one of my things. And then we got some pictures from the movie itself. And you know what was cool about the thing that I find to be coolest about this little autobiography type thing on Richard Pryor is Richard was alive to play himself. Where a lot of times we see these autobiography things and it's an actor who has to play the actor because the actor's no longer with us. So it was kind of cool that Richard was able to tell his life story. Maybe this was like a therapeutic thing for him. Maybe this was like a, hey, you know what? If I tell my story, maybe it will prevent, people that I know, friends, family, or whatever, from making the same mistakes I made. And maybe that's what his thought process was with this, because that's the way I felt after I saw it. It is a real disc. We got that silver shine on the other side. And it is a Blu-ray, so I know that is going to play in my player, no problem. With that said, yeah, there wasn't much to the interior of this thing, but what Criterion didn't do with the exterior, hopefully they do with the audio and the video and the, because I do have this on DVD. This is an upgrade, so I'm not like throwing my money away on something else. I wanted to upgrade to Blu-ray. I own everything by Richard Pryor that's been able to be upgraded to Blu-ray. I'm not going 4K. I'm drawing the line at the Blu-ray because this is good enough, okay? And it's a Criterion collection, okay? I don't think we're gonna get another release of JoJo Dancer, Your Life Is Calling on any other kind of format. They'll probably have if the 4K is not out already, they'll have the 4K, and double dippers are gonna grab it, or they're gonna think that they need it or whatever. But really, this is gonna play. This is gonna work. Happy with the movie. Doesn't need a 4K upgrade. As long as it plays, I'll be a happy boy. And with that said, my friends, thank you so much for stopping by. This is a little bit of my unboxing on JoJo Dancer, Your Life Is Calling. If you have never seen the movie before, I do recommend it. This is definitely a must-see for any Richard Pryor fan. And I appreciate you, and I will see you later.
You should have saved me some.